Here's another episode of What the Hell's on the TDS Bench. Taking one easy look, it's not hard to tell what the subject is. If you're anything like I am, or anything like any other shop, there's probably an overabundance of oils, lubes, greases, cleaners, CLPs, God knows what it's all called, sitting around everywhere. You know, I have yet to see anybody that has just one type of oil. Okay, that's the subject for today. There are several really cool products out there, and as time goes on, I find myself migrating from one to the other. And right now, there's probably two products that TDS uses, and they're well proven. All right, you know, for those of us that remember Mobile One, that's used this quite a bit, believe it or not. Mobile One works really well on machine guns. Has a super high flash point, doesn't run off, synthetic. Anyway, coming from Arizona, I was a big devotee of Brian Enos's Slide Glide. As you can tell, it's well used. The problem is when I moved to New Hampshire, I realized one thing very quickly: it gets cold. Here's a small tube of Slide Glide. Being that it's very cold, I'm standing on the range with a XD45 Tactical. When we finally did fire, I watched the slide move super slow. Even Slide Glide Light, it's a little thick for most uses. It works really well in the desert. You know, it's where it came from. It came from Arizona. Those of you that love Slide Glide, I'm not knocking it. I love it. If I find myself in positions where I can use it, I will. You know, honestly, just to give you an idea, I got MFR7 trial size, Hoppies, I've got Rem oil. Rem oil, honestly, big bottle of Rem oil, spray it everywhere. Just keeps all the guns in the showroom from exhibiting any type of surface rust. It's good stuff. You won't find it on my website. You won't find Hoppies on my website. This is all stuff you can get at Walmart. Okay? There's no sense in me carrying it. I've got a guy I shoot with that is hooked up with Arch Oil. They're coming out with nano hexagonal boron nitrite technology. This one is nano tungsten disulfide technology. Okay, I can laugh. I don't understand this. I've used it. Seems fine. It's very watery. What I want for the guns I work with, I want something that's going to stay. Once they get the formulation completely finished, I'm sure I'll give it a try. What we got? Break free. Everybody's got at least 5 bottles of this laying around somewhere. Okay. One of the better products that I find that is a cross between an oil and a grease that I've been using exclusively for quite some time is gun butter. Okay, I do sell this on the website. This isn't a sales pitch. It's just damn good stuff. All right. What I ran into a flyer for a product called Weapon Shield. All right, comes in various sizes. Here's all the Weapon Shield goodies. They even have grease and a pen oiler, which is really cool. You can put this in your range bag and in between stages or whatever, run over, and you're good to go for the next set. I go on the website, I look around, I poke around, I do, the obligatory Google search because I have nothing better to do. And it immediately dawns on me that I've seen the video for this before. I've seen the demo before. They use a crank, and it measures resistance and wear and the ohm meter goes back and forth, on and on and on. I'm going, I've seen this bullshit before. This is a ripoff of FP10. Well, I get on the phone and I call the company. I get a hold of a guy who says, blah, 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 explains everything to me, and I then say, so, how badly are you ripping off FP10? Immediately, no silence, just extreme laughter. Guy starts giggling, okay? Come to find out, the guy that invented FP10, George Fennell, is the same guy behind Weapon Shield. What the deal is FP10, George Fennell invented FP10. He's, by all accounts, a lubrication genius. Given the technology at the time, FP10 is what George came up with. FP10, the formulation has changed numerous times. Well, at least twice that I'm aware of, maybe 3 times. They tried to get it through the military. They needed a different viscosity, blah, 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 blah. So that was one formulation. Then the company, George sold the company, sold the rights to it, on and on. Everybody from Shooter's Choice on is using some version of FP10. George goes into a long explanation of how it has changed, on and on and on. Suffice it to say, George was pretty much disgusted with what FP10 had become. Those of you that have used FP10 for years will recognize that it even smells weird. It feels different, whatever. It's not the same FP10 George came up with. So George got a bug under his butt and decided to see what was new in the world. Goes to the top guys in lubrication, talks to the chemist, talks to this guy, that guy, whatever, and applies his remarkable genius to it and comes up with Weapon Shield. Weapon Shield is described by George and by people that use it, including me, as FP10 on steroids. All right? This is current technology. This is not 2000 technology. This is 2010 and beyond technology. All right? This is the grease. 90% of us that use grease use it straight out of a tub. You can see it's not as thick as Slide Glide. This is lithium based. It's got other properties that George tried to explain, but my PhD in chemistry fell off years and years ago. All right, the Weapon Shield that comes in the bottles is this consistency. Okay, what I can tell you is that I use it on everything from a .22 caliber 1911. Okay, this thing is like it's on ball bearings. It's amazing. Okay, use it on that. Use it on Glocks. Use it on standard 1911s, and most importantly, why I am switching to Weapon Shield. This is what I compete with on a weekly basis. If you know anything about open guns or anything about high performance race guns, the tolerances are incredibly tight. The heat is incredibly high. We're shooting through this 38 Super. Standard load for 38 Super out of the book is probably 7.1 grains of powder. Okay, in this gun, the exact same powder, damn near 11 grains of powder. Okay? We have pop holes, on and on and on. The pressure, the heat, everything. Literally, you end up shooting a 20 round stage. You shoot the next 30 round stage. You go to the safe table, you break it down, you clean it, you re-lube it, you re-oil it. With Weapon Shield, I haven't had that problem. The longest stage I've run this on is an 8-stage match. I haven't had to reload. It's quite amazing. One of the things I used to do all the time was up in the hood, especially on, here, this is the best, Glocks, okay? The 3-2-1 routine, 3 drops in the slide, 1 drop in the on the barrel or 2 drops on the barrel and 1 in the frame. Come in here with this, smear this right here in the hood. 3,000 rounds later, it's still there. 3,000 rounds. Okay. You come in, run the weapon shield. This is why the oiler really comes in handy. You can do it with the squeeze bottle, but you know, for a shop my size and the amount of oiling and greasing and lubing I do, I pick up the what is this? 16 ounce. Transfer it to this. Most people, this will last you a year. Okay? Most weekend shooters, recreational shooters, this will last you a long time. You can get the grease in the, 15 mil. You can get the grease in the 2 ounce tub. You can also get this one. This one will sit on your bench, probably last you 4 or 5 years. Okay? Once you've got this lubed up, it is literally quite amazing. It's difficult to explain the slickeriness of this entire setup. It's truly amazing. George has come up with something called ABF technology, which I wouldn't begin to understand. It's basically, it's FP10 on steroids. FP10, the technology coated the metal, it impregnated the metal, it reduced friction. This is beyond. The other thing that's really cool about this is it actually smells good. In other words, if you're cleaning your guns in the living room like I used to, nobody's going to ask you to leave. All right? So, weapon shield, available at the TDS site and various other places. After we went out and shot the suppressors, came back and on the Nielsen device, used the grease. It's amazing how little friction is in it. All right? So, there you go. Another video from What the Hell's on the TDS bench, and right now what I'm most fired up about is weapon shield. Second favorite, gun butter. I think, however, based on everything I'm seeing performance-wise out of the weapon shield, there's a really good chance that gun butter is probably not going to be on my website much longer. I think there's some applications that gun butter works really well for, but I honestly believe that going forward I'll be switching completely to weapon shield. I don't see any downside to it in any way, shape, or form. The pricing's not bad. If I look at the website, the 16 ounce bottle is, it's roughly $24. 4 ounce, $9. The oiler is $9. The grease, the tub is $9, and the syringe is also $9. Realistically, $9. You decide to go into the industrial size so that you can fill up. You can refill the oiler. Yeah, you're gonna spend a little bit, but honestly, it's gonna last you. All right. Check it out online. Do some Google searches. You'll find all sorts of people reviewing this. I'm actually a latecomer to this, but yeah, it's been around for a year or two now, and it's got nothing but massively good reviews. George sent me letters written by guys in the sandbox that are swearing by this. Everything I've seen, honestly, I'm not out shooting machine guns, but this is definitely a high performance item, and it's working quite well with it. It's working phenomenally well with it. All right, so that's it. What's on the TDS bench is weapon shield. Shoot straight. Have a good one.